Fast fashion is defined as inexpensive clothing produced rapidly by mass market retailers in response to the latest trends. It is a controversial industry that has global social, economic, and environmental impacts. The country that feels the largest impact from fast fashion is Bangladesh. People think of Bangladesh, they often think of its vast rural and agricultural land that makes up over 60% of the country. But a majority of the country's opportunities and exports come from the factories and the cities. The largest industry in Bangladesh is the garment industry. It makes up over 40% of Bangladesh's workforce, and its standards and salaries dictate the quality of life for many Bangladesh citizens. The garments industry in Bangladesh is plagued with poor labor conditions that not only endanger its workers' mental and physical health, it also refuses to pay its workers anything close to a livable or fair wage. An example of the poor labor conditions of fast fashion would be the Ranza Plaza. It was a factory that collapsed, killing 1,134 people. It was a preventable tragedy that brought some spotlight to the issues and labor conditions of fast fashion, most of which have yet to be fixed. The average salary of a garment worker is around $62 a month, or less than 1.1% of what we consider to be a living wage in the United States. The economic effect of fast fashion differs from the country as a whole to the industry. Bangladesh as a country is extremely reliant on the industry. It has over 5,000 factories as of 2020. With garments being the largest export in the country, Bangladesh is relying on the industry being as profitable as it can be, often to the detriment of its own citizens. Its workers barely make enough to survive. Despite recent increases in wages, it's still not nearly enough for them to live comfortably and reach all their needs. Fast fashion has socially changed the world. Globally, it promotes a throwaway culture that is detrimental to our environment. In Bangladesh, it keeps workers impoverished and does not offer much in comparison to the other industries. Despite fast fashion's unwillingness to change, Bangladesh is. Fast fashion is as dangerous and impeding as it is for women. It has also served as a place for the beginning of a strong feminist movement. The United States' global average of percent of women in the workplace has been falling over the last 20 years, while Bangladesh's has been steadily rising. This illustrates the growing social change and feminist movement that's hitting Bangladesh. Gender equality is spreading, and women in the workplace are greatly responsible for that. To figure out why we contribute to the garment industry of Bangladesh and don't demand change despite its cruelty to its workers' labor conditions and its unfair wages, I interviewed a student from Michigan State University.
My name is Greg Glasser. I'm a freshman here at Michigan State University. I'm from Milford, Michigan, and I'm 18.
How often do you purchase fast fashion?
I'd say about once every 2 weeks.
Would you say you're an average consumer of fast fashion?
I'd say I'm a little under the average consumer. I think the average consumer for fast fashion probably buys a little more than me.
What brands do you typically consume?
Supreme and Palace.
Where do you think fast fashion is produced?
I mean, I think a lot of it is made in China or overseas and then shipped to the U.S. and marked up and sold at a huge markup.
And what do you think the conditions of fast fashion workers are?
I'm sure they're pretty terrible, sweatshop type stuff.
Do we have a social responsibility to be conscious consumers?
I think it depends on your point of view. And I think we should have some, on some level. I don't think we should be able to control what other countries are doing because we don't want to interfere with their country like that. But I think if we're selling the product in our state, in our states, we should have at least some standards.
Does knowing about the low wages and terrible labor conditions of fast fashion workers make you reconsider purchasing fast fashion in the future?
Not really, because where else would I get fast fashion? There's really no other option. If there was another option that didn't include sweatshops and terrible working conditions, I'd definitely go there, but there's really no other option right now, so probably not.
Bangladesh is one of the largest exporters of fast fashion. What do you think we as consumers should do to help the garment workers?
I think we could tariff the goods that are coming in to punish the government, I guess, and try to force them to have better working conditions. We could try a diplomatic approach, just try talking to them.
The fast fashion industry changing, its workers still suffer from unlivable wages, poor labor conditions, and unfair treatment. Bangladesh is making strides towards social equality. as a result of women working hard in the garment industry, not as a result of the industry itself. Fast fashion will continue to be detrimental to Bangladesh's people until they are paid fair wages for their labor. Until then, the global exploitation of Bangladesh will continue.